Usually I like to have positive content on my channel, but this is not gonna be one of those videos. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is April and I am honestly feeling a little salty today. It is the end of the year. I am so stressed out. My kids have been sick and I haven't been sleeping very well. So, a bit cranky. And instead of sitting in a dark hole somewhere, I'm gonna use this attitude to give you my top worst books of the year. No disclaimers here. You may like these books. I did not. I really did not. They're terrible and I'm sticking to it. Also, I did rank these. So we're gonna start with number 5 and then we're gonna go to the absolute worst of the worst. Coming in at number 5, we have Tin. Oh, Tin. I didn't even read a review for this book. It was that terrible. I gave it 2 stars. Concept of this was great. It's a Wizard of Oz retelling, and the prequel of this was so cool. Lion is an assassin, and he's just gone to a really dark place, and he hooks up with, I forget her name, but the character who she's kind of a queen, but she collects heads and wears them. Such a cool concept. Really loved the prequel. And then there was this one. Tin Man is also an assassin, but he had to get Dorothy back from the real world in order to take it to the queen. I don't know. Listen, the plot was all over the place in this, and honestly, a very unsatisfying ending as well for my favorite character, Lion. And they also tried to make like this smutty scene where Dorothy is slowly unhooking her overalls as she gets with the Tin Man, and it was just like cringy, super cringy. Honestly, that was probably the best part of the book. It was funny. I could just picture her just like you know what I mean, with overalls. There is nothing sexy about overalls, let me tell you. They're comfortable, but not sexy. This book totally just missed the mark so much. I really wish I hadn't, because I want to find a Wizard of Oz retelling that really works for me, but this just was not it. At number 4, we have Under Pirate Cove Academy. Oh boy. Oh boy, this book. I read this for the Once Upon a Readathon something version. Oh gosh, Hannah's gonna be mad at me. I forgot it. I forgot what version this was. The one back in July. Sorry, Hannah, don't hate me. I read this, I was Team Pirates, so I read a bunch of pirate books all month long. This was by far one of the worst. In this one, it's kind of a new adult, and you have a lot of these supernatural creatures like mermaids and pirates and all kind of stuff going to his school together. But really, the school was basically just a sex school. Like, I think the whole point of the school is for mermaids and pirates to get together so that way they can have powers of some kind. It was terrible. There was just way too much smut, which is weird for me to say. Because it was so out of context. Picture you're in a school and you're going to class, and around the corner, someone's getting a BJ in the corner. Like, literally every time she turned around, the men in this book, it's white shoes, were just so terrible, and everyone was super immature, and I just hated it. It was not a good one. Too bad though, because I love me a white shoes, but this was not my favorite. Coming in at number 3, a book that I'm actually surprised was not the number 1 worst. House of Sky and Breath. Listen, this is a very polarizing book. I realize a lot of people are gonna love this one. I am not one of those people. I felt like this book was wholly unnecessary for about 90% of it. There was no plot, no goal for 90% of this book. And then in the last 10%, you have basically plot, drama, wrapped up, bada bing, bada boom, done. And the more I read this book, the more I got angry at it. I literally have canceled my pre-order for the Crescent City 3 book because this book made me so freaking mad. It just was, it just was so pointless, and irritating. I don't like Bryce in this book. I don't like Hunt in this book. I don't care about any of the characters in the book. I literally think Danica is the most interesting character in this story, and she dead, okay? She dead. So this book, it just killed me to the point where I don't even know if I will continue on with the series. I mean, I canceled my pre-order, but let's be honest, I probably will read it. I don't want to hate read it though. I really love the first one. The first one I gave 5 stars to, so this one again was just so friggin' disappointing. And yeah, it really put me in a mood. I did not like it. Coming in at number 2, Infernal Alfers. Listen, this cover and this pun literally captivated me. It captivated my soul, and I was so excited to read this. And then when you start reading it, it's dark. It is super dark. This is an Omega-verse book, which usually I'm okay with, but like very tough topics in this. You're talking about sex slaves. The alphas here are like the cats with fur, and then the omegas here are the ones that are hairless. And every cat is male. This is a male-male romance, but you have a cat that is needing to go to the farm upstate, which is not like to kill him. It's literally to go breed him and like as stock. And you have this detective who is trying to solve a crime, but he has taken the task of taking this cat to the farm upstate. They don't get 20 minutes down the road. Oh, hang on. How he's transported is in a cage in the trunk that has basically like hooks to hold down their legs and arms apart so that way people can still have their way with them. It was so rapey. This whole book was so rapey. And then this poor cat has been just assaulted for its entire life. This detective takes him 20 minutes down the road to a rest stop and then has his way with him. And even though he likes him, it's very aggressive. And it's very like treat him like a rag doll type of thing. I couldn't, it made me feel disturbed. Also, one of the worst phrases I've ever read in a romance novel was in this book. Those phrase, seed pocket. It was gross. It was gross. I was grossed out. You know, congratulations to you, book. You grossed me out. It's really hard to do that. So honestly, I should be giving you a medal, but instead you're making it number 2. And my top worst read of the year. The honor of this spot goes to Tricerat Toops and Bottom. This book is just straight up bestiality. It is not a fun time. It is crazy. Basically, this woman, she is bored. She's bored of all of the human men and women and alien beings that she can have sex with. She's done it all and she's bored. She needs something new to get her off. And so time machine is invented, and she somehow makes her way to be able to use time machine device to go back to prehistoric times and then starts rubbing up against dinosaurs. Can you just imagine being a freaking lovingly gentle giant creature like as a dinosaur, and then some crazy human being like this tall just starts rubbing your junk up against her? Like, this book, it was terrible. Terrible. And even in the book, they know she's got a problem because they take her ability to use the time machine away, and then she just pays a bunch of money to some rich person to use the time machine to go back again. It just keeps going. It keeps going. I mean, this was probably like, what, 30 pages? 30 pages of terrible, terrible news. It was bad. So bad. I luckily have read A Lula Faust since that I highly enjoyed. It's this one. This one I highly recommend. But this one, hell no. Hell no. That's it. That's my top 5 worst books of the year. Let me know what your worst book of the year was, because I love watching these. They're all so fun because reading is obviously subjective and we all have our thoughts and feelings on them. But anyways, I'll see you next time. Bye!